Hi everybody and welcome back to Nothing Fancy Video. I'm thankful that you're joining me today. This is actually a second take of this video. I started doing the cup of card in a reading and all of a sudden it just didn't feel right. I didn't like the cards. I didn't like the way it was feeling. It just felt off. So I grabbed a different deck and we're going to be using this deck. That way, if you have it, then great. If not, then you know which one we're using. I like this deck. The cards are beautiful. They really are. And it's quite an informative deck. And we're just... Okay, there's one already. All right. Oh, there's two in that one. Okay. This is going to be quite an interesting reading. So, welcome to Friday, everybody. And again, this is our second segment of A Cup of Card in a Reading, where you can post a question on this particular reading, and we'll do a card reading for that particular question next time that we do this. There wasn't any questions on the last post, so we're just going to go with that. We're just going to keep going. Okay, so the two cards that popped out was Divine Masculine and Allowance. Oh, I kind of like this. This is very, very interesting. Divine Masculine and Allowance. Now, the third card that I just drew was Cosmic Flower. I really like that because really, I mean, that is the center of the eye. It is very, very beautiful. So we have our cup here, and let's get into this reading. Divine Masculine, Allowance, and Cosmic Flower. One of the things that's happening is, you know, everybody always says this, our world is changing. Of course it's changing. It's meant to change. It's constantly evolving, and that's why Earth goes in a circle, because we're constantly evolving, revolving, everything. Now, one thing that happens is some of us have, you know, we get into this tug of war of like what is feminine, what is masculine, you know, and everything like that. And quite frankly, we all have both them qualities. We just need to be able to embrace both of them to do what we need to do. They are there at our disposal so that we can use them anytime we require, because there's different aspects in our life where it calls for divine masculinity and divine femininity. And so being able to just allow this in there when you need the strength to move a couch, or, you know, maybe you need a tough conversation, or maybe you need to have just some different aspects of the masculinity side, maybe getting that bug out of your house. Maybe that's what it is. So being able to embrace it and know what it is and to be able to utilize it to your advantage is really about the second part, which is allowance. Second card, we'll get that straight, which is allowance. Now, this allowance, while it wants us to embrace our aspects, it's all about what are we allowing? Because remember, you know, we have agency to choose how we go about life. And a lot of people sometimes get stuck in this like, well, it's happening to me, but that's not true. One of the biggest challenges in emotional healing is taking on our personal responsibility that we are the creators of everything. We get locked into patterns, which causes us to set up circumstances and events to fulfill that self-fulfilling prophecy. So by going into the allowance part of it, then why are we allowing it? What aspect of whatever is going on is really helping us grow, teaching us a better way, helping us to overcome a struggle? So what is it that we are allowing into our life? What are we choosing? What are we doing? And then we can make a new plan and head in a new direction for what we're wanting to have happen in our life. Sometimes it is just an awareness of like, okay, you know what? That didn't work very well. And I don't like the way I felt when that happened. Being able to do that sometimes is enough to get us to change directions for the better, which of course Cosmic Flower, which allows expansion and allows us to explore our inner circles, inner workings, inner self, and get rid of some of the conflicts. Wow, there is a lot of inner conflict this time. What is it that you're struggling with that's keeping you from feeling at peace? Is it time to move on in a relationship? Is it time to choose a different career? Is it time to try a new hobby? Perhaps. Because when we get these cards like this, Divine Masculine, Cosmic Flower, and Allowance, then why wouldn't we start making a few changes? That is some yummy stuff today. Okay. We're going to ask for some elaboration on the Allowance card. So we're just shuffling the cards again. We'll pull out 3. There's 1. There is 2. There is 3. And let's get a little bit more detailed on the Allowance. Transition is our first card. I'm sorry, let me hold that up there a little bit better. Transition. Realization. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? It just looks like somebody's eye staring at you. And synergy. Allowance. Transition, realization, synergy. Okay. So when we're in the middle of Allowance, it's definitely a transition, right? I love how some of these cards are just like, the realization that things are changing and that we are in a transition allows us to synergize and make the transition and Allowance a lot easier. That's for certain. How many of us buck against the system when things have to change? I know that I personally have bucked against the system a lot of times, which has ended up in resulting a lot of pain and a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. However, sometimes that's the only way that we do learn what truly fulfills us and what we truly want to be able to do. Being able to have the realization that everything is as it needs to be, and we are constantly evolving and changing for the better. I mean, who doesn't want to be better? It's interesting to me that, how many times I say that in all my videos, but when we're really looking for direction, sometimes one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to be able to do these kind of readings is because there are a lot of people out there who just sometimes need an outside perspective from a neutral party that can help elaborate on a few things that can get them thinking in the right direction or getting in the right movement or getting ready to kind of clarify their own stuff. That's one of the biggest benefits of these kind of readings, is because it just gives you a little something to be like, maybe I do need to change that one little aspect and maybe things will be different. I hope that if you are listening today, these cards help you. And remember that if you subscribe to the channel, you can list a particular question that you would like a reading on this thread today. And we will be answering that question with a reading next Friday. We're doing our Cup of Cardinal readings on Friday. And of course, don't forget that if you have a question for the Akashic Records, go back to the Akashic Q&A number 2 and post your question there, and we'll get it answered next Wednesday. I hope that you liked this video, and I hope you enjoyed our time at A Cup of Cardinal reading, and we will see you next time. Bye!